Deb Graff is joining us now. Deb is from Blackhawk Christian School in Fort Wayne, and Deb, you wear many hats there. You are the Director of Guidance, you're the middle school assistant principal, and you teach the internship class.
Yes.
You have a lot of interaction with students from grades basically 7 to 12. For those that don't know Blackhawk Christian very well, it's a private Christian school in Fort Wayne. Tell us a little bit about the school.
Sure. Blackhawk Christian School is, like you said, a private Christian school, and we have about 1,000 students from preschool through 12th grade. And we are, our mission is preparing hearts and minds to serve Christ. And we do that through academic excellence, a biblical foundation, and a Christ-centered community. And the students have the added benefit of having their teachers as born-again believers who love and serve Jesus and want the students to love and serve Jesus too. And so we partner with parents to come alongside them and disciple their children in that same end.
Let's talk about coming alongside kids. Kids today, I don't know how they do it. If I had grown up with the kind of technology in the world that we have right now, if I was 12, 13, 14 with a phone, I'm not sure how well I would have handled that. How are kids doing at Blackhawk? How are they handling all the pressures from this world, all the fast-paced change, all the technology? It's such a different world from when we were kids.
Right, very much so. We are trying to help them to learn to navigate that world in a Christ-centered way. Obviously, not everyone makes good choices. And
that's not true of only kids, that's adults too.
That's true, that's true. So we allow students to have cell phones, 9th through 12th grade, because they need to learn to navigate that world. Yeah. And they are learning through technology. We have one-to-one technology in our school, and so each one will have their own computer, have it through the whole day. Some of them take it home, middle school, leave them there at school, and they have that available to them. So we're trying our best to help them to learn how to navigate that world while they're in our care.
I would assume that my next question goes to mostly your Director of Guidance role, but maybe it bleeds over into all. A couple years ago, you started partnering with Crosswinds Counseling. What kind of an impact has that made on the lives of some of the students that you've seen?
You know, it has been a huge impact for our families who, where they have discovered that there's a need for mental health counseling. And it's, let's face it, counseling is expensive, and this is something that we offer to them. And I have a real good pulse on what's happening in the school for the emotional and social needs of the students. And then we'll navigate that by suggesting counseling. Some of them will come to us and say they would like to receive counseling, but it has opened up avenues where people can receive assistance in areas that we didn't previously have.
And you have seen some tremendous success stories through Crosswinds Counseling being in the building with you.
Yes, that's correct. I'm the one who does the scheduling for that counseling, and so this is our 4th year of having the counseling in our school, and we just have seen our current counselor has just really helped students with anxiety, depression, grief counseling, suicidal ideations, all kinds of things that students are going through today. And the goal is always to get them some tools to help them to be able to navigate through life on their own without needing counseling. But until they can get to that point, we have that available for them.
Tell me about the stigma, because obviously teenagers can be cruel. They can certainly be concerned about what their peers are thinking of them. This idea of going to counseling seems like there would be a real mental hurdle to climb to get to the point where I'd be okay going to see a counselor. Has that been a challenge inside the school setting?
That's a great question. I would say that it is getting easier for students. Some still have that same stigma that they do not want to see a counselor. They don't want their peers to know they're seeing a counselor, and they will seek counseling outside of the program that we have. There are others who are quite fine with that and have really grabbed on and are working hard to make changes in their life. I think the mental health world has done a really good job of trying to reduce that stigma that's attached with counseling.
If you were to speak to someone in your shoes in Indianapolis, where we are being seen here, what would you say to them if they express concern about bringing Crosswinds counseling into a school setting or into a setting where they're working with preteens and teenagers? What would you say to them to maybe ease some of those concerns?
I have seen nothing but good at Black Hawk Christian School, and the counselors that we've had there have been wonderful to work with, and what I see is a real willingness to not have counseling be a crutch for students, but to work them off of that. And after a counseling, a time period where our counselor's in the building, he'll come to me and say, okay, this child doesn't need to see me next week. In fact, they don't need to see me for 3 weeks because they're doing so well. And so it's always to kind of wean them off of that assistance and get them to where they can function on their own.
That's awesome. Deb, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us today and sharing. Deb Graff from Black Hawk Christian School in Fort Wayne. We'll be right back.